Alright, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Ardent Alliance versus Team Rin. One of the matches the world has been waiting for here. And yeah, Ardent Alliance has the opportunity to ban first. So that has just been set in the chat. So we are waiting for the first ban to be executed here from Ardent Alliance. They are seated, place number 3 versus the 6th best team in North America. So just the top quality here of the North American team. And that will be definitely a good matchup. I have no idea who might win, who is going to win. And I will just wait a second for the re-invite from Weilmar, who is just dropped out. And there is the ban. Jewel from Ardent Alliance. That is the first ban. No Jewel in the whole matchup, and we've just seen from Von how strong Jewel actually can be with the crits and all the thunder strikes, plus of course the big red button. Waiting for the ban from Team Rin to be executed. Alright.
So we do have some chat going on as well about who's going to make it, Xeno or Shin. Already some sad faces that Shin is not playing today. Did you talk already about who's actually in both rosters?
No, we didn't talk about the roster yet.
Okay, so we have for Ardent Alliance, Seed 3, Flash X, Mixi, and I Love Joseph. On the other side, Team Rin, that's Xenotech, Heart Carrying, and Weilmar. In the spectator slots, no, I'm kidding.
They are sitting
VGL Admin 1.
Tasty Bacon.
Tasty Bacon. Oh, Valdez is one of the admins, of course.
Yeah. So Weilmar is trying to ban Joseph, but that is obviously not a valid hero here, even if you would like to ban a certain player from a team. Doesn't work here. Waiting for the right call from Team Rin.
Yes.
Taka.
There it is.
No Jewel, no Taka. Definitely super strong heroes here on 1.8. And still, to mention, don't forget, we are playing on 1.8. We have a tournament server set up for that, and finishing the event where we started, since we don't want to give any player advantage or disadvantage, since there is also beta testing going on, and the one or the other player might have had the chance here to play for a while on that one, as well as the new changes on 1.9. They were pretty intense, pretty massive changes, not only to the heroes, but also the objectives, etc. And would feel pretty uncomfortable to push the teams into all this new stuff, throw them into the cold water, try to adapt them in top matches.
Right.
So I think it's much better here. And of course, it's kind of common in esport, especially in MOBA esport, to continue the matches on the patch where you started.
Yeah, makes the most sense. And continue with those draft and bans, especially the bans. That's something I like to mention, since we are running that as VGL, like the first time with this nice tool on vainglorydb.com. By the way, didn't give that a shout out too much today, so be sure to check it out. That's what we are using. It's a simple website. But also concerning the bans, it is like, it feels that 1.8 was a very rock solid meta, since you can't really, like, it's not like only Scarf ban, only Ardent ban, only Catherine is getting banned or whatever. It's like across the board, Glaive is banned, sometimes Vox is banned, Jewel is getting banned, sometimes Catherine is getting banned, Taka obviously getting banned, Scarf, Rona, even Rona gets banned. So it's like, if you see so many heroes getting banned, it is really, are you kidding? Is
No,
that really
I'm not
what
kidding.
are they really picking Fortress?
Yes, Fortress Scarf.
AKA Tasty Bacon's dog?
Yeah, we hear Fortress from time to time in the background. So if you're wondering who that is, it's a little Fortress.
Yeah.
Of the bacon dog.
Yeah, the bacon dog.
Yeah, never mind. Okay, so this is the roster, and we are waiting for the last call here from Team Rin. And Alliance is playing with Vox, Fortress, and Scarf. Super interesting comp here. Didn't have that on the record. And Team Rin is going for Rona Celeste. That looks pretty strong at the moment. It depends on the last pick. Can be some kind of Adagio, Ardent, Catherine. All three are possible here in this comp, where I would like to see maybe, I don't know if we need a Catherine double lockdown. Could be.
So the Rona pick, super interesting out of Team Rin. Now, actually, did you catch a lot of like streams of Xenotech? Personally not, because it's just
a
like
while ago,
so late
yep.
for us. And if we are very late in the studio, we are obviously mostly sitting here and casting, so not watching other streams. Not sure what he's actually maining. Not quite sure about those informations, but it's going to be interesting. Quite not sure. He's probably either Celeste or Rona. I could not see him playing support. Most likely not. Hard carrying. With that name, he needs to play a carry. I wouldn't see him doing that. On the other side, the Fortress, super interesting. Could be, well, no, it's going to be a support Fortress, obviously. No one else sitting there who could deal with that. Looks like players are loading into the fold, and we will send you guys in with Tasty Bacon and Valdez in just a second.
Shatter the Vain, a podcast about vainglory.
Welcome back to the Halcyon Fold, guys. We got an epic matchup coming your way. As we mentioned before, Ardent Alliance up against Team Rin. And already starting off with Tasty Bacon's dog in the mix. I'm excited for this one.
You know, my dog is a little bit offended by that. He feels that he is far cuter looking than Fortress.
Is that so?
We are going to be getting onto the fold, and we do see the early start here. It is actually the Fortress as the roam, starting with the Iron Guard contract, and of course Vox being the actual jungler. So a little bit different than I've previously in VGL seen people going with the Fortress as the jungler and just going for a weapon power carry build on him, but they're going in for an early level 1/2 skirmish.
They're going for it here. I Love Joseph getting very, very low, but a really nice job of kiting. Fortunately, is going to go down, but Flash X looks like he should be able to win this trade here, actually, and is going to take down that Ardent.
Yeah, that bleed from Fortress enough to get the fight win, 2 for 1, and actually in the lane there was a kill picked up by Mixi, making it a 3-1 in the early game here in favor of Ardent Alliance.
Yeah, I was watching that actually as the action was coming down. It looked like Celeste just missed a couple of Heliogenesis and just able to stack up that Fan the Flames was the Scarf, and eventually just chase her down. It was just a combination of bad positioning and just missing skill shots from the Celeste.
Yeah, of course, a lot of people a little upset with the fact that Shin Gaiken could not be here for Ardent Alliance, as was alluded to. But one of the big reasons why was because of the miraculous save from Shin Gaiken last week. Shin Kagan, as I'm being told. My apologies. But in last week, he made a desperation save for Ardent Alliance. They almost had to forfeit their game because of a player being in the hospital, and he was playing from an airport before his flight, and I believe they ended up winning about 5 minutes before his flight boarded. That's how Ardent Alliance got to this point. So
True
a lot of people
passion,
were hoping
man.
to see Shin because of that.
Oh,
So
look at
we are
this
having
huge
another
core
fight here.
collapse. Double core collapse there, able to take 2 of them, and Fortress is going to go down. I Love Joseph also getting very low here, looking to turn it around because he basically has no choice, trying to get that Arden, but no. Wilmer will survive, and now Mixi all alone. Will be able to get the Arden, and what else can he get here? The Rona is getting in to the face, and another Heliogenesis to come down, and that will be a dead Scarf as well.
Yeah, just like that, Team Rin evening things up at 4 kills apiece. So very even game thus far for the first few minutes. Definitely a big difference from our last game, but 3K to 2.9K, the gold lead's extremely close. So we'll have to see how these two teams played out. This Fortress is really what I'm most curious about. I'm not actually a huge fan of Fortress as a roam support. I much prefer, if you are going to play Fortress, to have it be that weapon power carry. But we'll have to see what they can do with it. Of course, it is a pretty solid pick. I mean, a lot of help for the team, movement speed, and things like that. But we have also seen a couple of questionable plays, and this gold mine starting it up really early, and with the enemies right next to it, they do end up backing off.
Yeah, that's never gonna work. Kind of desperate thought, I suppose. But no real reason to go for that. They have just backed off to the back of their jungle, gonna farm up a bit more. And yeah, pretty even to start things off. This is kind of what we expected out of these two teams. Very evenly matched at the tippy top of our seeds. And oh, they are going to try for the gold mine now. It is spotted. Can it be stolen? No, it will not be. Scarf is going to take that down.
Yeah, now they're just trying to run away from this fight, not wanting to go in on it just yet. But if Team Rin goes a little bit more aggressive, we may end up seeing a skirmish, but it does look like everyone's going to be backing out. And nothing's going to come from that other than the gold mine being captured.
Yeah, slight victory there. And oh, they're going to be jumping onto this Scarf. And oh, the Heliogenesis going way wide there. And hard carrying is trying to make up for that. Even after she landed the perfect core collapse, just mistapping, I suppose, that Heliogenesis.
Yeah, very, very close to a 5th kill of the game, but it didn't quite come through. As you mentioned, a bit of a mistap, very likely the cause there. Unfortunate for hard carrying. But very similar play styles coming from these two teams thus far, which is really interesting to watch because they're both really trying to do the same thing. You constantly see both junglers moving up into the lane, not really getting anything there, going back down, looking for a fight, calling the laner down. It's just non-stop with these two teams. They haven't been fighting as much the last minute or two, but their movements are very, very similar, and it just goes to show, they're with the top teams. They do have like set paths that they kind of go on and move about looking for plays, but when you're against another top team, they know those exact paths and are pretty much moving like in opposite of those, so that nothing is nobody's really getting caught out of position as we have a 3-on-3 in the lane.
Yeah, hard carrying getting very low, trying to get that Solar Storm down.
In the end, it was the wait for it coming through, picking up a kill for Ardent Alliance, but now Team Rin gonna try and turn it, but that's a very difficult position there for Xenotech, trying to dodge the Spitfires from Scarf and will get away. Another 1-for-1 trade as we remain pretty much dead even here at 5 kills apiece.
Yeah, very even fights all the way through. It's really just about that gold mine at this point. Definitely do not want to let Ardent Alliance pick that one up here. Scarf getting a little bit too far forward and is easily going to be taken out, and this is exactly what Team Rin wanted, but now fighting with the gold mine is chunking down Team Rin hugely here. Hard carrying getting so low, but they have taken out 2 members, now trying to take out that Vox, but it doesn't look like they will be able to.
Gold Miner picking himself up a kill. Always love to see Gold Miner picking up kills there, but it was a 2-for-1 in favor of Team Rin. However, the Gold Mine stays in the possession of Ardent Alliance here, and now hard carrying should be able to get some decent damage onto this turret with a pretty sizable minion wave there, but backs off not knowing where the enemy junglers are, throwing down that Heliogenesis to scout that brush. And yeah, that minion candy really helping to turn that fight and making it not a disaster there for Ardent Alliance.
No, it's quite nice, and they get all the vision around the gold mine now. Scarf kind of being pushed out of the lane for now as Celeste is poking it down, but I don't think there's really any way for Rin to try to take this gold mine at this point. It's just way too close, and with the minion candy, it's going to be doing a ton of damage.
Yeah, minion candy did actually just wear off, but as you mentioned, it's so close to paying out that I don't think that they can get it. They are going to, however, trade this turret though, so they will be getting an even gold trade, but having the advantage of the map control there. And Gauntlet coming down as the fight is being chased through. Ardent Alliance picking up 1 kill, getting Xenotech so low. He is bleeding, but it will not be enough for the kill. However, Ardent Alliance going to just start working on this turret. They cannot defend this. Their health is way too low. So that turret gets immediately answered, and of course then the gold mine did just pay out as well. Going to give a slight lead now over to Ardent Alliance, though it is only 700 gold.
Yeah, but definitely a big win there for Ardent Alliance. Had they lost that fight, which I thought they may have been able to, would have been pretty disastrous. As you were saying before, minion candy expired, and there was only a slight amount of time, but that was the exact timing for them to take a fight, and if they had won it, they could have taken the fight, immediately gone to the gold mine, and I think they would have had enough time to take it down. So kind of unfortunate for Team Rin that they do lose that one. I saw hard carrying actually missing the solar storm and then missed the core collapse, and then after that didn't have enough energy to do much else, so kind of just had to back off.
And right now, again, 7-7 on kills. Such a close game through the first 10 minutes. It's about a 2,000 gold lead, which for 10 minutes is not very much. We talk about a lot of teams when they're in a dominant position end up with like a 3,000 to 4,000 gold lead at this point. But only 2,000 separating these two teams, and tied on turrets, tied on kills. Very, very even matchup. Pretty much just what we expected from the 6th versus 3rd place seeds.
Yeah, for sure. And I was just thinking, the Vox pick, I really love it, especially against the composition of Team Rin here. It was a first pick, I believe, after the bans, which were Taka and Jewel. I believe Jewel being the ban there. So, as the Vox, I mean, against Arona, especially after you hit 6, you're going to be able to much more easily just sonic zoom away. You've got Fortress for that extra movement speed against her. You're going to be untouchable, essentially. And against the Celeste as well, unless you get hit by a core collapse, you're going to be owning up all these fights. Also, there's the Gauntlet to think about as well. But as long as you have like decent positioning in the back and you wait for the engagement to start first, and then, follow it up with a wait for it and just do like huge amounts of damage, I feel like this Vox is going to be a really key part of Ardent Alliance's strategy here, and we even saw that in the first team fight as well.
Yeah, and he is building the Crystal Power Box Not the most common when talking about junglers, but here comes another fight in the jungle. It is going to be Whalmer going down very low, but staying alive just long enough to get a lot of damage onto Mixi. They do both end up falling in the end. There was also a kill being picked up onto I Love Joseph by hard carrying there. So now they're going to try and take the gold mine back, but Flash X wants to try and fight this. The gold miner is on that minion candy doing some solid damage, but it's not quite going to be enough. That will be the gold mine picked up by Xenotech and Team Rin, along with the kill advantage now finally going in their favor. But the gold, still 500 gold separates, is in the advantage of Ardent Alliance, but that is just such a close matchup right now.
Oh yeah, really got to hand it to Ardent there. He actually zoned out the Vox from the rest of them, so the wait for it was only onto the Celeste, because they were kind of having a one-on-one, the Vox and the Celeste. And just after I got done talking about how good Vox was going to be doing against the Celeste, he continued to go on and get hit by every single Genesis in that fight, in that 1v1 versus Celeste. So, I mean, gotta hand it to hard carrying. He's landing his skill shots now, at least.
Yeah, going for this gold mine, taking it down extremely quickly before Team Rin can even respond. And now they're going to look for the follow-up fight, as they had gotten some damage down onto Whalmer. The wait for it doesn't hit anything, though. Flash X and I Love Joseph and even Mixi now all very low, as the red mist from Xenotech was just melting through those health bars. But then all of a sudden Xenotech having to back out, and this fight gets turned on its head. And just like that, it is Ardent Alliance picking up 2 kills for 1, and we are dead even on kills once again.
Yeah, pretty unbelievable how that fight ended. 3 members of both teams with basically no health. And, once again, it just really speaks to how close this game is. Really got to hand it to the Vox in that team fight, really doing his job that time around. Just kiting that Rona fantastically, surviving until the very bitter end, doing that little bit of damage to force Celeste out towards the end of the fight as well. Was doing really, really well in that fight.
Yeah, the problem I see right now for Ardent Alliance is the fact that their team is going to be building, it's the double weapon power, or double crystal power carry. So, the side of Team Rin doesn't have to worry about building armor whatsoever. Instead can just stack shields all day to try and win some of these fights. And when you have an Ardent on this team, and of course everyone builds the Aegis anyway, they're going to be able to negate a good amount of that damage. But they are going to now, Kraken is spawned at 15.5 minutes. Kraken of course spawning at 15. So they could potentially look for it, but it would be way too risky to do it this early. Or maybe it won't be, as they are going to start this up. Everyone from Ardent Alliance had backed off. I don't think they even thought that this would be happening, as this Kraken is actually going to be taken pretty much for free. They picked that one up, get the Kraken buff, and will now look to try and push with it. The question is, how much are they going to be able to get off of this? Scarf, Fortress, and Vox make a pretty solid Kraken killing team, so they could potentially stop this at the first turret.
Yeah, that was just fantastic game sense out of Team Rin. Something went off in their head like a timer. They're like, oh, they haven't checked these front bushes by this time. Like, it means they obviously must have gone back. So they found that very slight timing, and they were able to pick up that Kraken.
Yeah, they should actually... Okay, they are going to be able to take this first turret. The siege from Celeste is extremely good. There goes the Gauntlet, a huge Solar Storm going to blow through the team. Flash X is the one who's taken very low, but it's only Flash X taken low, and they immediately return damage onto Team Rin and are going to be looking for this fight. They take down the Kraken, get that 500 gold. I Love Joseph needs to be very careful, does eventually back off, but Kraken and a kill traded for a tower, and now it's going to be 2 kills as Xenotech does get caught here in the bottom of the jungle. he will not be escaping. So a pretty sizable gold swing actually in favor of Ardent Alliance off of that.
Yeah. You could just see the burst damage that came down onto the Ardent, which got him very low health towards the beginning of that fight. And Rona, I mean, is very, very hard to get into a good position with her and actually, you know, land that Shiver Steel, slow someone down, and get some consistent damage. And when it doesn't work out, it's very noticeable. Like we saw it there, just had to back off and eventually was just kited the entire time. Like they were missing a lot of damage output from their jungle. You know, had it been a different pick, but the Rona in that fight definitely did not work out.
And we'll have to see if she can have a better impact going forward. I mean, sitting at 4-3-4 has done quite a bit for the team, but these last couple of fights really hasn't been, you know, been getting the red mist down, but has been dying rather quickly to the crystal power carries of Ardent Alliance. And of course, again, they do now have this about 4,000 gold lead. They are down a turret now, and we see Team Rin capturing the minion mines. Gonna want to try and keep this pressure on and see if they can keep Ardent Alliance stuck inside their own base, prevent them from getting out and clearing out jungle camps and getting any of that extra gold.
Yeah. It's kind of funny that even Ardent Alliance ahead about 3k gold, 3.5, like they're still the ones being a bit passive. They're waiting for a good opportunity, it seems, you know. I don't think they think they're very far behind. They are definitely lacking in terms of jungle vision for sure. So far, Team Rin has been doing a fantastic job of controlling the jungle, but just very meticulous, just waiting for their opportunity to take a good team fight on their, you know, in their favor, waiting for Team Rin essentially to make a mistake.
I think the other part of it is they don't really have much engage other than waiting for them to go in, and there they go. The gauntlet is put down, but they pick up the kill on Scarf right away. This could be disastrous for Ardent Alliance, as they're gonna try and chase, Xenotech's gonna try and chase down Flash X while his teammates go after I Love Joseph. But they picked up that one kill really quickly, and looks like they should be able to get Flash X down as he's just running into their base. Nowhere to really go here other than trying force a fight and try and win this, but it's going to be very close. But the red mist coming out from Xenotech will be enough to turn that in their favor. And we are now 20 minutes in, so death timers are pretty lengthy. Kraken has also respawned, and Team Rin looking like, again, the fact that there is no engage whatsoever from Ardent Alliance is really starting to cost them.
Yeah. Definitely, for sure. And they're going to take this moment in time to just go for this Kraken. They know with the death timers, as you were saying, they're definitely going to have enough time here to bring this down. And again, they are going up against this very good Kraken defending team, but I think it's worth it. You know, they definitely have to put on the pressure here, even if they only do get one turret for it. I think it's going to work out for them.
Yeah, it's difficult for them to get a push on without Kraken because of how quickly Scarf and Vox can clear out waves of minions. So even if they only get one turret every time they grab Kraken, they have the ability, just because of how passive Ardent Alliance has to play without that engage tool, they can just wait it out every time, just wait for Kraken to respawn, take it, and get another turret. And just rinse and repeat throughout until the rest of the game. And it's going to be very difficult for Ardent Alliance to stop this as the gauntlet goes down, followed by the Solar Storm. Really nicely blocked there, but the damage is still coming through. Kraken is very low, will get dropped. So again, only the one turret, but it's what Team Rin needs to be able to get these turrets down, is just taking the Kraken, getting one turret with it, and then backing off and waiting for the next one.
Yep. Look at this, Scarf is poking out, and the Warhorn is going to go down. They're going very hard onto this Team Rin. And now the wait for it going to come out, but it looks like Scarf is going to go down, and Rona does survive. Sonic Zoom not able to get that double shot down, and now hard carrying is going to be focused down by I Love Joseph. And now with the very weak Rona, they're looking for more kills.
They're going to continue chasing down, actually putting a lot of the damage onto Whalmer instead of Xenotech. I don't know if they're going to be able to get this kill. They are going to have to dive under the turret if they want it. They do pick up one. They do pick up both as Xenotech tries to salvage something there. And that gets the ace bonus, which means they are going to start regenning. And the minions are fairly far away, but they have a ton of time at 22.5 minutes in. 20 seconds until Celeste even respawns. So they're just going to burn this turret down. And just like that, Ardent Alliance, you know, they don't have the engage tools, but if the enemy team is at half health when the fight starts, you don't really need them.
Oh yeah, that is for sure. That's, again, just fantastic game sense. This is what you get out of these great teams. Like Scarf all alone 1v3, but he knows to push out and begin poking, like bait them in a little bit, keep them around, and not just let them go home so that they can eventually go for that re-engage. And definitely worked out for them quite well, extending their gold lead now to about 6,000. And next step for them, I think, is pick up the minion mines, clear out this jungle. There are so many scout traps that are lying around. You need to deny this vision, especially as Kraken nears the respawn timer.
Yeah, it's going to be very tense these next couple moments coming up. Really just a matter of who's going to wait it out, who's going to be in the right position when the fight does start. Of course, you know, I hate to keep harping on it, but the fact that Team Rin is the ones that have to start the fights off is a bit of an advantage for them, because they do have the ability to control when and where fights happen, and they can try and just push Ardent Alliance into a position that they want for the fight to start. But, you know, Ardent Alliance does have now a 5k gold lead that is slowly growing, so it may get to a point where they can't really start the fight because Ardent Alliance will just win them.
Well, looks like we're going to have another engagement here. Jumping onto that Celeste. Solar Storm comes out, as well as that Gauntlet. Rona is getting the damage this time around. Vox is going to go down, but oh, look at this. Now it's only Celeste. Scarf, after Vox goes down, he is doing so much damage all alone here. Doing a really nice job, though, is Celeste. Oh, he's going to land the core collapse, and the Supernova comes out, going to kill that fortress, but Scarf is still on the map. Not going to be hit by that Spitfire. And these two guys, oh, looks like Scarf now is just going to go home, but that was so unbelievably close.
And you talked about it early on, getting to see the Scarf versus Celeste duking it out, and that was exactly what that ended up being. Both of these carries surviving at the end of the day, and trying to go one-on-one. Great job by hard carrying to continuously dodge those Spitfires. It is not easy to dodge that many skill shots in a row, but he was able to pull it off, and ends up really kind of saving the game, because if one of those two had fallen and gotten the ace, it would have been a big push. And both Celeste and Scarf have the ability to solo Kraken at this point.
Yeah. They could solo Kraken. They could even, you know, focus down a turret. The death timers are just that long at 25 minutes into the game. So that was a very, very tense moment. I mean, you called it, man. You're like, this is when it gets really tense and really close, because any team fight could mean victory for one or the other team.
Yeah, and that's, you know, the later we get, the more and more that rings true. Especially with only 2 turrets defending each crystal. The Kraken is going to get picked up. This could be very, very dangerous, as they need to push with the Kraken, but at the same time, they need to be careful when they go in for a fight, because, you know, even with Kraken up, if an ace comes out for the side of Ardent Alliance, they could just push down and win before Kraken would destroy their turrets. So it's going to be so important, this fight, the positioning in this fight in the base, and what the teams decide to do. Trying to get some poke on over the wall to start things off is a brilliant idea, as they now have to walk through the coop, taking a little bit of damage. Not too much, but look at this. Kraken is already down half health. There goes the ultimate from Fortress, and this could be the start of a fight. A lot of damage coming out from Celeste. Kraken is going to get taken down immediately, though. Not even a turret picked up There goes the gauntlet, and now they do finally go in and take out the turret. So 1 turret for Kraken again, and but now they have to be careful of the engage. Here it comes.
This is their moment. They're trying to jump on a Celeste. Scarf takes
That's
down
it.
2, and Vox is going to survive somehow, some way. All the cooldowns go down, and it looks like that's going to be the game for Ardent Alliance.
They will have to be a little bit careful because, again, turrets do a lot of damage and have a lot of defenses, but all 3 of them are alive. They should be able to just juggle the turret aggro and take these down. They have over 30 seconds before anybody is back alive, and that should be more than enough time to take these turrets, especially with the Scarf just melting on through those with that burning goop. And that's 1 turret down. The second one is going down. The shield's coming up for Flash X, so he can just keep tanking it. There goes the second one. 15 seconds, and the Vayne Crystal is down. Ardent Alliance, in an incredibly close matchup, takes the first victory.
Pretty unbelievably done there. I really have to give it to them. Just wow. That was like one of the most fantastic games we've had here in a while, and even making that double crystal power composition work, the Vox and the Scarf, you know, even though we had double Aegis as well as double Fountain of Renewal, as well as 1 Crucible, it still wasn't enough to keep them alive in the very long, sustained team fights.
Yeah, so with that, we are going to send it back over to the guys in Germany to get us set up for the second game. And that's the best part about this matchup, is we have at least 1 more game of it. That was such a good game. I cannot wait to see what these teams bring out for game 2.